Alright, what's up, guys? So, I knew I was gonna have to make this video. Something told me, like, after this unfortunate situation surrounding DC Young Fly, that I was gonna have to talk on Azealia Banks, and sure enough, you know, she proved my point. I just knew it. Like, something told me, like, she's gonna talk about this guy. She's gonna try to somehow, some way, make this situation that has absolutely nothing to do with her about her. And just because your most viral moment of all time so happened to involve DC Young Fly, that doesn't mean that you can involve your life into this man's personal life, all right? And the thing is this, you know what? I know I'm going to be disrespectful in this video. Most likely I'm probably going to say something that maybe years down the road it's going to get me canceled. I really don't care. But in any situation that involves DC Young Fly, it doesn't matter how much this man progresses in life. Anything that this man does, whether it's negative or positive, you're not going to matter. In any situation that DC Young Fly is involved in, you're not gonna matter. All right, understand that, Azealia Banks, because I feel like that she has, like, obviously, yeah, she definitely has some screws missing in her head. I don't know what, you know, mental illness she got going on, but she obviously has something going on with her where it's like I feel like, and that's the thing where I'm like, I can't say that she grew up in a different society, because I feel like there are probably people that grew up on the same street as her, not even on, like, you know, like, oh, she was born and raised on such and such boulevard. No, I'm saying, like, people ain't no different. There are probably people walking the face of this earth there is no different than her, but even in some serious stuff, they know, like, to switch off, like, oh, me being toxic, me being petty, and she still wants to be toxic and petty. I definitely, all right, so let me just bring up the messages that she said, because it's something where I'm like, you know, even though DC Young Fly wasn't even trying to call her ugly on that, like, episode of Wild and Out, like, no, I'm gonna just flat out say it. She is an ugly person. She is extremely ugly, and I mean, it's on some stuff where it's like, I'm not even talking about her physical appearance, but just who she is in the inside. Physical appearance, whatever, but like inside, oh yeah, she's 100% one of the ugliest person to ever step face on the internet. So has she said some more stuff? No, she's trying to promote some makeup crap. What is this, makeup? Either a speaker, I don't know, maybe she's trying to air out some stuff. Don't nobody care about that. So, but anyways, so yeah, all right, so let me actually bring it up and things, and you know, viewer discretion is advised. She does say some explicit words. I'm not gonna say them, but you know, just if you're watching this out in public and things, and you know, you don't want people to see no curse, whatever it is, I don't care. But anyways, so she goes on to say, DC Young Fly spent years disguising his own deeply rooted hatred of self as jokes pointed at women's beauty, projecting his own feelings about his own ugliness onto women perfectly secure in their own skin. What is that even? This beginning part ain't got nothing to do with what's going on with DC Young Fly. It's not like he's being canceled for saying some stuff. She said that for whatever reason. DC Young Fly, I don't think there's ever been a time where he has said that he's ever felt a certain way about his appearance. I mean, this man has literally DC tattooed across his forehead. Do you think he has any remorse over his appearance? No, but obviously you do. Obviously you got something going on about yourself where it's like your physical appearance, yeah, it was, you know, was even brought up in things on that episode of Wild and Out, but she felt like she wanted to make it into that. She wanted to make it into, like, oh, these guys are talking about my appearance. They wasn't. If people know who DC Young Fly is, and I've been following DC Young Fly since the Vine days, that's how he talks to everybody. For those that have seen that clip, and if you haven't, yes, I'll recommend go looking up the clip when Azealia Banks was on episode of Wild and Out. The way he talked on, like, that whole segment, and then just on that whole episode and every other show, that is how that man talks. And I truly do believe that he talks like that to everybody around him, even random strangers. Random strangers, it feels like a random fan that approached him, he's gonna most likely say the same thing about them, all right? But so anyways, she goes on to say what you want about my tears. They were pure tears of rage and not at all a sign of weakness. No, you're a weak person. You are 100% a weak person, because again, this situation ain't got nothing to do with you. You wanted to include yourself in this situation and bring up some stuff as if, like, this is still affecting you till this day. And if it is, why do you think that? Why do you think the stuff that happened years ago is still affecting you to this day? I don't think what happened to her on Wild 'N Out, I don't think any of that stuff is still effective to her till this day. I just think that you, as a person, you put yourself out there to be dealing with some crap. I mean, sit down and think about it. You claim you make music, yet nobody has heard of your music. Nobody does even... I think there was one time where I went out of my way to go listen to her music, and it was trash. Garbage, horrible. I have seen some, like, preschoolers make better music than that. But the music that she makes, it's like, fam, what's the reason? Obviously, you just need to retire from music because don't nobody listen to it. I'm saying, if there's anybody in the comment sections that can actually name one Azealia Banks song, truthfully name it, not go search up online or to go through Spotify or whatever and see what kind of music she makes. No, actually, just genuinely from your heart, know one of her songs word for word. Okay, know the beat, like how the production behind the beats, know everything about her music. Okay, or at least just one song. Then okay, cool, maybe, just maybe, she might make some good music. Until then, I've never heard nobody. I've heard more of Nick Cannon's music than I've heard of her music. That's sad, all right? And there's no disrespect to Nick Cannon, but at the same time, I'm like, fam, them songs that are on YouTube that get like, what, 110, 15 views, that music is better. I'm saying, Azealia Banks, nobody will ever know you for your music. So putting that out there that you're a singer and a rapper, fam, no. There's no way. I'm more of a rapper and a singer than she is. And I'm like, and I have yet to put out any rap or singing songs. All right. So anyways, and then, overall, like getting back to that last part of her sentence. Yeah, you are an extremely weak person. But then she goes on and says, because in the end, I won. Won what? What did you win? You're still in the same... Let's just sit down and think of the timeline from that episode all the way up until now. DC Young Fly he's made some good music. He starred in movies. He, of course, he still has a position on Wild 'N Out, so it's like he has probably a lifetime contract with that show. So he's progressing in life. Oh, and then his podcast, the 85 South Show, he's making big moves with that. Azealia Banks, the only thing that you've done is cook a dead cat and get into more beefs with people. Talking about it was like a pet or it was just some old dumb stuff surrounding that cat. And I'm like, that's what you call progressive? If you call that winning, I'm like, that's a weird form of winning. Like, I wouldn't want to win like that. That's some sad stuff right there. But then she goes on and says, I'm happy I cried and moved on. You didn't move on. If you moved on, you wouldn't even been making this post right now. Then she goes on and says that Jacky old girl must have been so deeply insecure about herself. And it's like, you're talking on another person's appearance as if you don't have piano teeth yourself. Like, no, if we're going to sit, the thing is this. I'm not that type of person where I like to go out and talk about a person's appearance. But for this time's sake, where Azealia Banks, she wants to be evil, then it's going to bring out this evilness in me. Your appearance ain't all that either. I'm saying, I'm like, you might want to look in the mirror. But I'm like, the thing is this, even on like some serious stuff, right? It's like nobody in this world is perfect. Nobody. So if a person wants to go out and get cosmetic surgery, that's their choice. If they don't, that's their choice. Whatever their situation is, it's their choice on what they want to do with their body. At all costs, okay? So yeah, that's why I'm like, you're not, a perfect A+ looking person yourself, all right? Everybody in this, look, the thing is this, everybody in this world, we have our flaws, we have our problems. As long as we learn to accept it and to live with it, fam. Like, I'm saying, there's gonna be somebody in this world that will look through those flaws, that'll look through those problems, that will like see us genuinely. I feel like nobody has ever said that about you. That's why if you've ever had to do anything to your physical appearance, it's because you're trying to please other people. But nobody has actually seen you. Nobody doesn't actually know who you are. All they just know is that you like to beef with people on social media. That's sad, all right? So then she goes on to say, and the nerve of DC to call such a gorgeous woman as Azealia Banks ugly. Now she's talking in like the third person on national television while a bunch of black people laughed. And did she delete something? Oh, I guess like, and ironically, dead at 32 exactly on my 32nd birthday, May 31st. Wait, hold on, because I forgot to pause. May 31st, 2023 in Miami, Florida. You African Americans are going to learn to stop freaking with me, I guess. But it's like, who are you talking to? That's the thing that like really trips me out about this situation. It's like, fam, nobody is like talking to you right now. You brought this up for no reason. See, that's why I knew at the like when as soon as this situation happened with DC Young Fly, I just knew that she was gonna go on the social media and say some dumb stuff. And then she goes on to says, I don't think anyone gets how much the press from that episode derailed the success of Anna Wintour. I came to sing my song and go home, and only at the request of my label. Then the stupid butch queens on stage behind me basically making a mockery of it being a I don't feel comfortable saying, but I'm pretty sure y'all can see that word, derogatory song, fake voguing behind me into their own do-rags like they aren't all raging homosexuals. Again, who are you talking about? That's what I'm like saying, where it's just you could tell like prior before that show that she didn't do her episode, or she didn't do her research on like that what that show was all about. And what else? There was another point that I was gonna make. All right, oh well, just slipped my mind and things. But anyways, moving on. That thorn in my side is finally out. No way in hell I was blessed with this many gifts, this much talent and beauty. Fam, trust me, you don't have no talent. If you did, you would be more recognized for if your talent is beefing with random people that has not said one thing about you. If that's your talent, then you are the most talented person in the world. Other than that, that's not a talent. That's just you trying to look for your place in society. That's just trying to look for your place in this world where you don't have no place at all. Okay? The thing is this, and it's like, and I'm not trying to be too disrespectful, but at the same time, it's like you could go through your whole life arguing with people, beefing with people. That's not going to have no effect. It's like, sit down and think about it. All this beefing and drama that you've got into with people throughout your career, what has that done? How has that changed anything that has happened in this world? If anything, it's just got you blocked on social media. That's about it. It's like, but other than that, I'm saying you have not built any bridges to even burn down just yet. Like, you've done absolutely nothing, okay? And trust me, you're not the face of talent, and you are not the face of beauty. It's like you're not inside or out. So to be a cultural punching bag for a cast of, I don't know if that's an explicit word or not, I'm not going to say it, who wouldn't have a pot to piss in if they didn't have the court of society or social media addicts to jester for. I do all this in real life, haha, Ash. Yeah, and then I think, yeah, that's when hopefully if that was her music, I'm like, I don't want to see it, all right? I don't want to see that at all, but anyways, yeah, I just personally think that Azealia Banks, it's like you have a lot of self-reflecting to, do and things. Like there's just a lot that you gotta do with your life. And the thing is this, regardless of whether DC decides to, if he does respond to her, it'll be on his own time. But I feel like that his response is going to be a response where it's like, wow, like, wasn't expected. But I feel like it's either, if he jokes around, that's just who he is. That's what that man does. But if he's like comes at this like as a serious, like he ain't the the comedy joking around DC Young Fly that we all know. Like, this man is like the person behind DC Young Fly speaking. That I feel like that's gonna most likely be the greatest response that he possibly can give out to Azealia Banks, and it's gonna be something that genuinely comes from the heart, that comes from the soul. And then Azealia Banks, of course, she won't have like a legitimate response for it. Obviously, all she's just gonna want to do is just stir up more drama, start more beefs, cook up more dead cats, put out more bad music. I'm saying, like, at least with those, I remember when DC Young Fly, when he was on his podcast, 85 South Show, he said that about her music, saying like, she makes good music or whatever. And I'm like, I just don't care for it, and it's like, the thing is this, I really didn't want to be, disrespectful, rude, or anything towards Azealia Banks, but at the same time, it's like, you put yourself in that position. So it's like, all that stuff that you're talking on and things, it don't matter. It really doesn't. It's like you put yourself in that position where you want to be disrespectful to people. And then the funny thing is that on that episode of Wild and Out, she's making it seem like that she ain't said nothing. That's one thing that I pay attention to about people, where it's like they're trying to plead their case and make it seem like that, oh, the public eye, like, because at the end of the day, the only people that are really paying attention to this is DC Young Fly fans and Azealia Banks fans. But random people, they don't know who DC Young Fly is and Azealia Banks. I think she's trying to gain their approval. Fam, people are like, they're just going to walk right past you. They don't care. But she's talking as if nobody doesn't know of that episode. Nobody hadn't seen that episode. Fam, you was throwing shots too. Talking on this man's personal life. I'm saying, and then even after that, so I don't know if too many people heard that, but even after that, she was even talking about Nick Cannon. So it's like you're talking about all these people as if like, oh, you wasn't. She's talking about she's a cultural punching bag. No, you're just a punching bag, but you ain't did nothing for this culture. I guarantee and I promise you that. There are so many people that walked the face of this earth that did more things within the time you have been famous. They have done more things for this culture than you ever will. All right, so you are not no cultural punching bag. Trust me on that. But she talked about Nick Cannon, of course, was throwing shots at everybody else, and I'm like, fam, it's just, there's so much wrong with that girl. It seriously is. Like, I don't get her issue with people. It's something where I'm like, I never understood that about her. Throughout, like, the years, I really have seen her name trend just for starting up drawings. This is stuff that I've said a long time ago. But it's like, the times where I've seen her name trend, it's never been for anything good at all. So that's why I'm like, Azealia Banks, this is all that you're gonna, this is like, I feel like this is it. This is like the last time that we're ever gonna really hear from her. The last time that, cause like, I feel like this is really the craziest thing that she's done in her, like all the times that she's beef with people. This is like the craziest thing that she's done, where she's talking about a man's, significant other that just recently passed. I mean, regardless of whenever the time was, like the fact that you still brought it up, and then at such a bad time at that, there ain't no good time for this. But the fact that she did that, I'm like, no, like there's nothing else that this woman could do that's gonna catch my eye and be like, well, it wasn't worse than what she, did to DC Young Fly. Gonna start talking about this man's personal life in a time where it's like, this man can use like all the love and support that he can use, yet you're trying to make this about yourself. The thing is this, what do you got going on for yourself to where people got to pay attention to it? Besides the beefing and drama and all that, what do you got going for yourself where people got to pay attention to it? Absolutely nothing. So that's why I'm like, Azealia Banks, it was nice knowing you, but I had to say, like, you're the beefing, the drama, all that crazy wild. She'll probably do some other dumb things in the future that it's like, okay, talk on it for maybe a day or two, and then after that, we're moving on. But that's all that you're going to be known for. That's it. So I'm like, enjoy it, but after this, it's like, bruh, it's over. So I'm like, it's the thing is this, it's never too late to change your life. It's never too late to, make amends, just overall be a better person. I do feel like that, trying to be cool with DC Young Fly and the cast members of Wild and Out, trying to apologize, because I do feel like that it's going to get to a point in time where she's like, oh, well, let me do this to, I guess, be more of a cultural punching bag. I feel like she is going to, do some more dumb stuff, but I do think that there will be a point in time where she is going to try to apologize to people and, make amends and all that. I feel like it's going to be too late, so it's like the best thing that, that you can do is just, throw out your apologies and then just move on with your life. Actually do good. Actually be a good person, because who you are right now, it's honestly, it's one of the most ugliest people that I have ever seen throughout. Like, I definitely, like, I've seen some ugly people before, but I'm like, man, like, Azealia Banks, like, literally, like, maybe not on the Mountain Rushmore, but at least one of the builders of Mountain Rushmore of, like, ugly people and stuff. So anyways, yeah, it's just sad to see somebody carry on like that, but like when they really have had no guidance in their life, and then this is how they carry on. It's like there's like many ways for a person to carry on when they ain't got like no actual legitimate guidance in their life. This is one of them. So this is why I definitely recommend anybody out there that got kids, be there for your kids, talk with them, understand them, like learn about them, study them, be there for them. But somebody like Azealia Banks, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, that's somewhere that she's somebody where I feel like that she grew up thinking that she was white, and she probably just talked crazy to her parents. Like, no, who's that one girl that was on Catfish? There was this like one black girl that was on Catfish that was like super crazy. I'm just gonna type up weird black girl because they'll probably know who I'm talking. Oh, yep, see, looked it up, and then overall she was like one of the first few people that popped up. Okay, let me break. This is exactly who Azealia Banks reminds me of. I don't know why, but it's like anytime when I see like her or Azealia Banks, it's like one or the other comes to mind. And I was thinking that earlier, and I was like, dang, like, you know, they probably could be like, you know, some like multiverse version of Azealia Banks or whatever that girl's name was. But yeah, it's like they're one and the same. They're just somebody where it's like you want to be accepted so much, yet you've been accepted to nothing. So that's, yeah, it's sad, but you know, that's just, I guess, how life is when you carry on the way that you carry on. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. I just have a strange feeling like I'm gonna upload this video. It's either people are gonna agree with me, or there's gonna probably be people gonna try to like pinpoint times where I've said some disrespectful stuff and gonna try to cancel me for it. I really don't care. It's like when you talk, you know, the same way like DC Young Fly, like how he views Nick Cannon. He looks at him as an OG. He looks at him as like somebody that's been very, very helpful. That's the same way that I look at DC Young Fly. More so when it comes to content creating and just elevating your career. I take a lot of motivation from that man. So no, major shout out to DC Young Fly. And I really do hope that he's in a good, like, time and spot right now. Well, I mean, you know, I just hope that things do get better and things, and you know, people just continue, like, if they are, just, you know, be there for that man, you know, send that man love, support, all that stuff. So, and Azealia Banks, I'm like, yeah, she's somebody where it's just, I don't know what kind of issues you got going on upstairs, but you know, you're gonna have to solve that, do something about it. So, but anyways, and that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.